Hey everyone, Neen here from the Hyperactive Bookworm, here to do the July wrap up. Yay! Alright, so I was really sick at the end of July, and everything just kind of fell apart, which that's life, it happens. However, you know, normally I would have thought it would be a great chance to just lay there and listen to some books, but I could not get into new books. So I ended up just re-listening to a lot. Not really going to go into them because they're rereads, they're still fun, they still count, but I don't really put them toward my books for the year. My books for the year, for the counts and stuff, mostly they're new books. The rereads, very rarely do I ever count toward any kind of book challenge. One I have to count toward the Sapphic because it is a reread, one of your faves. So that's all cool. But yeah, so new books, I ended up reading seven new books and one reread that I am counting for this because I don't remember if I did a review for it the first time I read it. And the reason I reread it was because I got the paperback copy come, so I'm so excited. This month also proved what a big fat liar I can be, because I managed to read almost all of these 8 books a paperback. Like 5 of the 8. I'm like, how is that even possible? But it turns out it is. However, I'm really loving the paperbacks, but I'm really loving, and none of this was intentional. It just all toward the end of the month I realized what I was doing, and I've read a whole bunch of sequels, which yay, but also pocket reads, short reads. They're great, and they do help the word counts and stuff, but they're also just, I'm really enjoying them when time is so, it's so sacred at the moment. Well, my time for reading is minimizing with everything else I'm doing, and I don't always get to read the longer books. There's a few, of course, I will always read, and I love the longer books, but I can't do all longer books. I need those bite-sized chunks of deliciousness to break everything up. So, without further ado, here are my pile of books. Like, look, there's a little pocket-sized one there too, and of course my iPad, because that's where I read a lot of them on. Some of them are also audio, but we'll go through all of them, and yeah, so we'll start at the start, funny enough. All right, so first one I read, 6 Days to Hell. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. How cool is that cover? It is a short dystopian read, and it's a oomph with a 1-2 punch, basically. It is after it kind of hit a little too close to home. It's after a virus is basically spread, and one man who gets basically public enemy number 1, and of course there's more layers to it, and there's different effects to it, and there's all these extra multi-layers that you find out as you go along, but he is considered, the ultimate rebel of this apocalypse, but the world is just taken over with limitations, and it's hell, and it's following this Garcia is his name, and following him as he comes back after hiding in the mountains for a while, and it follows him for 6 days and to hell. And even though something bad's gonna happen, yeah, it was a great dark read, and it doesn't get lighter. It is dark. It's dark from the start to the end, which is fantastic. So it was a bit anxiety ridden. Like, I kept waiting, like, oh god, like a release, but it was so good. It was a short, perfect example of a great short read. So yeah, that was 6 Days to Hell. The first paperback I read, and I was so excited about this, is Dead Man Walking. Now, this is the extended version, It was published originally by a different publisher. This is by David Green, by an original publisher, but it's since been picked up by a new publisher, and they've made it so much meatier, and it's brilliant. And even if you've read the first one, it's 100% worth getting the second one. Oh, David's signature. I was very excited. And yes, I got them signed copies because paperbacks are so cool when they're signed. So this is another pocket read. It's brilliant. So basically it follows Nick Halloran, and he died and he came back to life, and he discovered the truth of the world that we live in. And it's not all sunshine and roses, and demons walk among us and all that kind of stuff. And it's brilliant. He's just a snarky, grumpy bastard of a PI, and it's very reminiscent to me of the 1950s sort of PI film noir sort of idea. And it's great, and the snark is brilliant, and the dialogue is great, and the descriptions of the monsters, and the story is just, it just flows. It flows so beautifully. So that's book one, Dead Men Walking, for the Nick Halloran series. As far as I know, there's going to be 5 of these, and I'm so excited. All right, what's the next one? Yay! Harrow. I did a reading vlog of this. Oh my god, it is so beautiful. Like, look at this book, look at it, and it's a number 2, a sequel. Yay, the first sequel. It is so beautiful, and oh, it is just so good. And there are pages, I won't go too much into it because I did do the reading vlog of it, but I have, you know, written all the way through it and highlighted stuff, and it's just so cool. Like, every chapter has like a skull or a little picture here, and it's just such a delicious book to read, and the paper feels so good. And I just love that, like, the different acts and stuff, and all the skulls are just that little bit different. I think some repeat, but they're just, you never know which skull you're gonna get, and that's really exciting. They may not repeat, actually. I should go through and check that. I don't know, but I'm gonna be reading this book 1,000 more times. But yeah, I just think it's so delicious, and all the different acts, and the book itself, oh my gosh. So I actually ended up listening to this while I read along, and I just, oh my god, I laughed so hard. And this book, the second book all year to make me cry, it was just so impactful and beautiful and so hilarious, and the snark, and it has made me go back and reread number 1 because it just shows everything in a completely different light, and I'm so excited about it, and I cannot wait. Pretty sure it's Electo. The 9th is the next one. I can't even know now. Where are we? Yes, the tomb will open in Electo the 9th, and I cannot wait till that book comes out. So this was just the most phenomenal 5-star book. Oh, the others, I didn't actually tell you the ratings I gave them. I gave 6 Days to Hell a 4 and Dead Man's Walking a 4.5. They were just great. Like, these books are so fantastic. And now another 5. And again, I didn't actually do a reading vlog for this, but I did do a review, and oh Lord, I finished it in the middle of the night and started the next one. So this is a sequel as well. Fletcher Delancey, her Chronicles of Ellie, yeah. And this one's Without a Front, the Producer's Challenge, and my gosh, it is just so beautiful. Like, everything about it is, it's great. Like, I struggled to start this because I felt the characters' grief and mourning so strongly that it affected me. It was that well written. And it ends amazingly, and you need to have the 3rd book ready for when it ends. I am reading the 3rd book. I did start a reading vlog on it which is going to be a bit sporadic just because I've been sick and have not been able to concentrate that much. But, oh, I can't wait. You will never hear me stop talking about Fletcher Delancey. Her books are fabulous, and I think she's just an incredible writer. All right, definitely a 5-star. I'm so glad there are more books of this for me to read. It's like what I tried to do with Lee Winter and failed miserably, to space out her books so that I don't run out. But I'm not sure this is going to last much longer before I just binge. All right, so the next book, paperback and another sequel. Yes, the 3rd sequel of my 8 books for the month. Like crazy. This one, it is chunkier. It is the 2nd Nick Holleran book, and it is so good. The Devil Walks in Blood. It just brings Nick Holleran's story to so much more juicy levels, and like, it's just, there's so much more going on, and we see a few things from a few other perspectives, and it is just fantastic. And as you may gather from the title, you actually get to see the devil, Nick Holleran's devil in this, so that is really exciting to me. The story was great. All the little pieces came together, and you were on the journey with Nick. Like, you could pick the pieces. You knew something was going on, but you weren't quite sure how they all threaded together, and it was great kind of figuring out the mystery along with the PI, and that was really fantastic. He's also a complete schmuck, and he's just so unaware of so many things that I just love him. But it's so gritty and meaty. Like, there's just so much to it, and Nick just gets thrown into one shit show after the next, and it's awesome. I love it. So I can't wait. So 3 more books, hopefully, I think, are coming of these, and I cannot wait for the next ones to come. So David Green, you're a champ. All right, the next book I had was, I actually audioed, and it is a new one. However, it is also, where are we? It is also, if I can get it up, a sequel. Yes, True Nature by Jay. It's a Shapeshifter series. Now, it says on here that it's book 4. It's really confusing. Well, I found it really confusing, but it's kind of book 2 of the full novels, but then book 2 and book 3, I think, are short stories or something like that, that they can be read independently, thankfully, because I don't have them. I need to get to them. This was fantastic. I adored this. I never ever thought I would like shapeshifter books, but this just is fantastic. Like, Jay always breaks those ideas of never ever. Like, I've learned not to say those things, but I've just not really enjoyed shapeshifter books before I read her series. I've always found them a little disturbing with the whole crossover of attraction. It's very clear the attraction is nothing to do with the animal form. It's a complete no-go. I put a comment up on it. I may have put the review up, I think, for Jay. Could have been on one of my previous videos, and she mentioned how in a comment she said that it's a no-go for her, and that makes me so happy, because it should be a no-go. The animal attraction should not be there. It's taboo. It's not okay. So that book is just so great, and the story is brilliant, and the frustration is real, but it doesn't tie you up in so many knots. Like, it's real, but it helps you move on as well. Like, it never made me want to stop reading, which is a really cool thing, that you can be frustrated and annoyed with aspects of the story, but you still want to read it. There's more to it than that, but you get that taste of that, especially when it comes to family. There's this huge, I don't know, They're real and dynamic and prejudiced and stubborn, and the characters, they're just amazing. They're just so layered and flawed, and it's such a trait that Jay has that I love her writing for it because of these flawed frustrations, and all of her characters are different. Like, there's not, for me, for the books of hers that I've read, I've never read a book and gone, oh, this character is like this character in her previous book. They're all completely unique and well-rounded, and I adore that, and I'm just blown away by her ability to do that. So yes, 5-star book. I just thought it was powerful, and I adore it. All right, so second last book, yeah. All right, so this one I did audio as well, and yes, like I mentioned earlier, I have not been able to pace out her books. My second last Lee Winter book that's currently out, I don't know if you can see that. It's called Changing the Script. It's fantastic. It was set in New Zealand, and it was so nice to kind of be close to the stomping ground. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was so great. I did write a review for this, 5-star, and as I put it, and I was like, oh, I can't put it any better than that. And this is how I feel about the book. The balance of tension and amusement throughout Changing Script is as masterfully crafted as a katana. Because it is. It's so finely balanced, and it's just beautiful. It was so fun as well to see characters from Breaking Character. So technically this book, I don't think it is technically like a sequel, but I guess you could consider it such, because it's set after Breaking Character, and you do see some of the Breaking Characters come into it, and that was really cool, especially because one of the minor characters from Breaking Character is also a minor character in Changing the Script, with a little more from her, and I loved it. Sky, she's great, so she's in it as well. And then you see a lot of the other characters. Thankfully you don't see Grace, because Grace in Breaking Character was the most frustrating, villainous, egotistical character I've read in a while. I really disliked her, and I was glad not to see her, but the rest it was really cool to see. So I really loved it, and there's a whole mystery in the book, and I actually kind of was a bit chuffed that I figured it out before the characters did. And but it was just so fun, and the New Zealand quirks, and it was just delicious. So again, Lee Winter, you haven't disappointed. You always seem to bring it, and it just blows me away. All right, now the last book I read is the cutest pocketbook in the world, and I sat down and I couldn't stop. It was one of those books that you just, it's a one-sitting book, but it's so cute. It's the cutest little pocketbook ever, and it's called, am I going to actually say this right? Metaphoria by KB Elijah. It's so cool. So it's 90% dialogue, which is its own challenge, and it's so fabulous, and it's sort of enemies to lovers. It breaks down the fourth wall. Now, the fourth wall, I knew what it was, but I didn't know that's what it was called. So if you're not sure what the fourth wall is, it's basically when characters just know that they're part of a story. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to say any more about it, because I don't want to spoil this, because it is so damn fun. It is such a delightful read. The characters are delicious. The two main characters, even though majority of this story is dialogue, I never once got confused about who was talking. I did get pulled out of the story once or twice going, oh yes, it's dialogue, but it was never enough to stop me reading, or to even have more of that second, because I was back in the story. I was still going in the story. It was so good. So snark, hilarious, brilliant. All right, so they're my 8 books for the month. I actually started another half dozen books this month that I just haven't gotten to. Hopefully they'll all be finished for next month. Well, for August. August is my birthday month though, so I'm not sure if that means I will get more time to read or less. But yeah, I had so much fun this month considering the last week or so was a complete write-off with sickness in this house. So yeah, so that's my wrap up for July. Like I said, I didn't read as many books as most months. I only read 8 books, which honestly that's still two a week, so that's pretty damn good. And I did also have Camp Nano, which I kind of bailed on for the last week. Like I said, everything sort of went to hell. But in the end, it's been overall a pretty good month. So hopefully you like this. If you like any of the books, or you like the sound of them, or, you know, let me know what you think if you've read them. I am absolutely loving shorter reads. What do you guys think? Do you like the shorter or the longer books? I find that I really do need to mix it up, and it's great. All right, so I'll stop rambling now. And thanks so much for watching, and if you feel up to it, I'd love if you liked the video or commented, say hi, subscribe if you feel like you want to keep watching more videos of me rambling at the screen. Anyway, so thanks y'all for watching, and I'll catch you later. Yeah.